What types of school have you been to? Well, it's obvious that there's a variety of schools in Vietnam, ranging from kindergarten to university, public to private school. For me, when I was 5 years old, I attended a public kindergarten near my house. After that, I was admitted to a primary school and a secondary school. They are all state school with low tuition fee. Then, when it comes to my high school, I fortunately passed the test for a gifted school. And currently, I'm a student at an international university. What kinds of school do you like the most? Simple one. As you may know, it goes without saying that there's a wide range of schools in any education system. However, I reckon that the most appealing one for me is the public school, simply because it's often quite spacious and had good facilities thanks to the state investment. Also, the teachers in public school are high qualified and dedicated. Besides, my friends are generous, sociable, and helpful. Sample 2. Well, I reckon that the most appealing one for me is the public school, simply because it's often quite spacious and had good facilities thanks to the state investment. Also, the teachers in public school are high qualified and dedicated. Besides, my friends are generous, sociable, and helpful. Are you a student or do you have a job? Option 1. Well, I'm a senior in Tôn Đức Thắng University. I'm majoring in business administration. I first dream to become an environmental scientist in the future. I'm planning to earn my master's degree in the UK after my graduation. That's why I take this test. Option 2. I work at Vinamilk Company in Gò Vấp District, Ho Chi Minh City as a Human Resources Officer, which involves supporting HR Director and taking care of employees' lives. In more details, I arrange meeting and help my boss to contact his partner companies, and I'm also the person who takes charge of working schedule, salary, and health insurance for staff. Why did you choose this major? Why did you choose this subject? Why did you choose this study? Why did you choose this job? Option 1 is my dream, is my passion. Actually, I have fostered a dream to follow business administration since I was a child. In fact, I always believed that I was born to become a businessman. I found statistics and projects interesting, appealing, stimulating, and intriguing. I have a burning desire to manufacture a variety of useful goods to serve consumer on the daily basis. Since I can, fling myself into trading plans, be first to arrive and last to leave every day. My friends and colleagues regard me as a real business eager beaver. Option 2 is broadens my knowledge. Learning Chinese studies, I can explore the culture of the immense country with a long age history, like the different dialects depending on the region, the festivals, and traditional clothes. Besides, I can improve soft skills such as teamwork, leadership, communication, and problem solving during the study process. Option 3. I love the people. To be frank, my teachers are knowledgeable, dedicated, and extremely humorous. Sometimes they are a little strict because they want us to stick to some disciplines like meeting the deadline or not skipping the class. My friends, needless to say, are sociable, supportive, and multi-talented. Some can dance hip hop beautifully, some are skillful in drawing and designing, but the thing that actually makes us get on well like a house on fire is our humor. They make a joke and make me laugh, even when I can't smile. Option 4. It has a promising prospect in the future. You see, nowadays, technology has made a great progress, significantly improving residents' living standard, so technological service is in the high demand. Therefore, I believe that if I apply myself working from dawn to dusk, I can definitely be adept in computer science and sooner or later have a roaring success in my own computer company. Additionally, this major can guarantee me a well-paid job and a stable life after graduation. For instance, vacancies in engineering, network maintenance, and so on are available for me as long as I pass the exam with flying colors, earn sufficient working experience, including skills and even tricks of the trade, I guess. Option 5. My family orientated me toward this major, this subject, this study, this job. Frankly speaking, it's not really my option. My father gave me the advice that I should major in medicine and follow his footsteps to become a warm-hearted doctor. Studying diseases and treatments has been the tradition of my family for 4 generations. My father promised that he would pass experience on me if I devote myself to this profession. Is it important to learn this major, this subject, or to work in this field? Option 1. In my opinion, geometry is highly challenging. It includes, shapes, solids, and numerous operations. No matter how clearly my teacher explained, I couldn't make head or tail of it. I had no clue why we had to draw one more line in a triangle. Option 2. The subject is not practical. The subject is theoretical. Honestly, I often wonder why philosophy is a compulsory subject in the college. This is mainly due to the fact that the principles and approaches can be applied in many jobs. For example, since I major in fashion design, I can use the rule of quantity and quality to sell a piece of clothing. It's a high demanding and tiresome job. Absolutely yes. Tourist guide is a high demanding and tiresome job. In fact, it requires me to travel and talk a lot in one day. Also, I have to constantly attend to my customers and keep an eye on their luggage. Though I'm truly passionate about the job, I realize probably I'm running out of my steam. It's like a cutthroat competition. I think so. You see, you take risks in this business. I opened my electronics stores in 2012. We made a profit at first, but then there is a cutthroat competition with many rival stores, so the sales figures plummeted. Besides, because electronic devices are changing constantly, if we don't update the new trend, customer may leave us. Option 5 likely to go is very hard. I'm stuck in the career treadmill. Basically, as an accountant, I'm stuck in the career treadmill, calculating, typing, and gluing my eyes to the screen every day. It's so boring and tedious. Some even say it's a dead-end job, and I think it's true. Do you like music? Simple one. Well, I think I have to say that I'm quite passionate about music. To be more precise, I'm really into pop music. Normally, I like to listen to music when sitting in my cozy room every morning and evening. I guess I have a fancy for music for a couple of reasons. First of all, it helps amuse myself and release my working pressure. Besides, it's like an elixir which revitalizes my soul when I'm at the lowest point of my life. In short, I can't live without music. Do you like music? Simple too. Well, honestly speaking, I have a fancy for music. I'm in love with pop music and like music in particular, which both have catchy tunes and pleasant melodies. Although I don't have a great voice, I like listening to music in my own room and sing along to the radio or CD player. Additionally, when I suffer from insomnia, I enjoy listening to some light music to calm myself down. I am an adoring fan of Adele and James Blunt. I'm fond of music mainly because it can cheer me up greatly when I feel blue. Besides, I also believe that music is an indispensable part of culture and tradition, through which I may have a better understanding of different cultures around the world. Do you like painting? Do you like drawing? Absolutely, yes. I find drawing so fascinating. Whenever I travel to somewhere, I always take a moment to draw something about that place. To me, this is a way to keep my memory live on vividly. The main reason why I love drawing is that it's developed a sense of beauty and morality for myself. I look at the world from different perspectives and try to convey the humanity messages in each picture I draw. Do you like swimming? To be honest, I have to say that I have a soft spot for swimming. Usually, I go swimming with my bestie at the local swimming pool. Actually, I'm into this kind of sport simply because I can find swimming beneficial in various ways. For instance, I can relax, let out the steam whenever I'm stressful. I feel that my body is energized and my soul is revitalized. More importantly, I'm always in a good shape. Well, I guess those are the reasons why I do like swimming. Do you like dancing? Well, I have to say that I'm quite partial to dancing. When I'm off school, I often dance in my dancing club with my friends. I'm quite into dancing because it's a way of relaxation and keeping fit. No matter how stressed I feel, dancing has always helped me to release all of it. I feel like my mind is refreshed after each time I dance. More than that, I strongly believe that dancing is a useful way to convey humanity messages. Each eye and hand movement conveys different meanings, which bring both observers and dancers to various emotional states. Well, I guess those are the reasons why I'm into dancing. Do you enjoy reading books? To be honest, I have a soft spot for reading books, especially novels. My friends usually consider me as a complete bookworm. My favorite bedtime reading is a bestseller named I See Yellow Flower on Green Grass, written by the author Nguyễn Nhật Ánh. The reason could be that it cheers me up and helps me to escape from the fast pace of life. Normally, I'm often overloaded with my study and job, especially when I have to cram for exam and burn the midnight oil to meet deadlines. Browsing some pages of a page turner can really lift my emotion up. Besides, to me, reading is a kind of thought-provoking. I could broaden my horizon and enrich my knowledge when I read between the lines and explore the pictures that are painted with words. Do you like watching films? Speaking of films, yes, I'm a big fan of all types of films, even though they are heartbreaking or action-packed. Normally, I like watching movies at cinemas where I can catch up with the latest movies as well as enjoy blockbuster or box office hits. Also, it has a better atmosphere with better visual effects. When I have times on hands during weekends, I really enjoy watching films with my bestie, soulmates, girlfriend, boyfriend. I'm into it simply because it boosts my imagination and creativity. Furthermore, it helps me relax after hard working hours. Do you like using computers? Definitely yes. I consider myself as a computer buff who spent at least 12 hours sitting in front of my laptop. Personally, I think that computers is a cutting edge technology after being stuck behind it. In the computer age, there are many kinds of activities that I can do with my computer, involving sending emails, surfing the web, watching movies, listening to music, and so on. Besides, I can use them for my study as well as my job. Sometimes I run out of steam. I suffer from computer fatigue because I use computer too much. However, I don't hate the state-of-the-art technology because it's truly an indispensable part of my life. I cannot imagine how my life would be without it. Do you like using computers? Definitely yes, I consider myself as a computer buff who spends at least 12 hours sitting in front of my laptop. Personally, I think that computer is a cutting edge technology after being stuck behind it. In the computer age, there are many kinds of activities that I can do with my computers, involving sending emails, surfing the web, watching movies, listening to music, and so on. Besides, I use them for my study as well as my job. Sometimes I run out of steam. I suffer from computer fatigue because I use computer too much. However, I don't hate the state-of-the-art technology because it's truly an indispensable part of my life. I cannot imagine how my life would be without it. Do you prefer watching sports or playing sports? I think I prefer to play rather than watch sports, simply because of two following reasons. Firstly, playing sports helps us to have a healthy life and promote physical fitness. To be more precise, exercising every day keeps us stay fit and in shape, strengthen bones and muscles. On the other hand, I have to say that if you just watch a football match via TV, you can't strengthen your muscles and have a carefree moment in life after a hard day. Besides, about mental effects, playing sports is a useful way to enhance mental and emotional well-being, lift your spirit, and think more positively. Take yoga as a prime example. Researchers highly recommend that people should do yoga every day to relieve stress, control anxiety, and have a bright outlook on life. To sum up, I believe playing sports is much more beneficial than watching sports. Do you think music is important? Well, generally speaking, music is important to me simply because it's a piece of art that goes in the ears straight to the heart, which soothes me after hard working hours, energizes my body, and revitalizes my soul. Going to live concerts, for example, can be a really stimulating experience. Without music, I feel that my life would be really boring. Therefore, there is no doubt about the significance of music to me. Which do you prefer reading, magazines or newspapers? Well, if I were to choose between the two, I would probably go with reading magazines in my spare time because they are well printed and always have in-depth reporting on some particular events. Whereas, newspapers always report the same news at the internet, so they now seem not to be so indispensable. Without magazines, especially fashion magazines, I feel hard to catch up with the latest fashion trends around the world. In short, I have a preference for magazines. Do you like to hang out with a group of people or just several friends? I think it all depends on the place and the occasion that I'm going to hang out. If I just go for a drink to chill out, I would prefer idle the hours away with my soulmates. it's much easier for me to share my concern. However, if I have times on hands to go for a picnic beside a river or enjoy a weekend at the water park, I would love to unwind by going with a big group of friends. There are much more fun and memories that I could make with them. Therefore, on special occasions like National Holiday, I try to have some time from work and let my hair down with my friends. Do you think art classes are necessary? Yes, definitely. I strongly believe that children should learn art subjects, especially painting, for the following cheap courses. Firstly, they can create their own imaginary world through painting. In a word, art subjects are indispensable for children's development. Learning arts, particularly at a young age, can help stimulate children's cognitive development and encourage them to think outside the box. They can express their feelings and emotions in their works of art. Additionally, painting can help foster children's imagination and creativity. They can create their own imaginary world through painting. In a word, art subjects are indispensable for children's development. What food do you like to eat? Well, to tell the truth, I think I would have to say it really depends. If it's in the summery months, when the weather is really hot and muggy, I will usually have something with ice like ice cream or bubble tea. They can really cool me down. On the other hand, if it's in the wintry months, and because of that, the temperature can drop quite low, I will, of course, eat something that can warm me up, such as barbecue and hot pot. Such type of food is quite affordable and popular as well in Vietnam, actually. What food do you like to eat? Well, to tell the truth, I think I would have to say it really depends. If it's in the summery months, when the weather is really hot and muggy, I will usually have something with ice like ice cream or bubble tea. They can really cool me down. On the other hand, if it's in the wintry months, and because of that, the temperature can drop quite low, I will, of course, eat something that can warm me up, such as barbecue and hot pot. Such type of food is quite affordable and popular as well in Vietnam, actually. What is your best friend like? Well, my soulmate is quite different from me. Perhaps that's why we're eager to get to know each other and get on so well. While I'm an introvert, she is really outgoing and the life of the soul at a party. She is great company and people just love being around her. That's the reason why she has a really wild circle of friends. Her best quality is that she's so positive and always look on the bright side of things. What does your best friend look like? Well, I'm glad to answer this interesting question. I like to talk about my best friend Lee. She is 5 years older than me, but has a very youthful appearance. She has a friendly round face, framed by thick blonde hair. She has a lovely complexion and always well turned out. She actually always looks like she's going out for the evening to somewhere special. She wears glasses and always seems to have a different pairs on every time I see her. I like the way she looks because she wears clothes that are right for her age and manage to look glamorous. I'll be happy if I look like her when I'm her age. Well, would you go to buy flowers? Well, it would depend on the occasion or event and who I was buying them for. If it was just a small gift for someone and it wasn't a particular special event or anything like that, I'd probably pick some flowers up at a supermarket because they usually have a good selection and flowers are fresh. If it was for a special event or someone really special, then I guess I'd go for a florist and look for something a little different or out of ordinary but appropriate for the receiver. Why do some people like flowers? Personally, I think many people love flowers because of many reasons. As far as I'm concerned, one of the main points is due to their beauty, fragrance, and meaning associated with them. Besides, some people may like flowers because they are great ornament used to decorate their rooms. Well, I guess those are the reasons why people have a fancy for flowers. Who is your favorite author? Frankly speaking, I'm into reading books. I read many books of different authors, and among them, Nguyễn Nhật Ánh is my favorite one. He is one of the most successful writers in Vietnam. Most of his books are written about childhood, hometown, human love, which makes my memories live on vividly whenever I read them. Besides, his books always contain humorous situations which do give me a sense of relaxation and cheer me up when I feel blue. Well, that's why I love his books. To whom do you want to share your happiness and sorrow? To be honest, the only person I share everything with is my mother. To me, she is the closest family member and also my soulmate. Whenever I'm on a cloud nine or need a shoulder to cry on, my mother is always by my side without any complaints. That's why I love her so much and don't conceal anything. How often do you go to cinema? Well, to be honest, I think I would have to say that it really depends. For instance, if I have the money, then it's quite possible that I will watch a movie in the cinema 2 or 3 times a month. You know, cinema tickets are pretty pricey in Vietnam. In contrast, if I'm broke, it's more likely that I watch a movie at home on DVDs, which are quite cheap here, especially compared to the price of a cinema ticket. Is computer important? Yes, computers are extremely necessary in my daily life, just like eating and sleeping. The reason could be that without computers, I wouldn't be able to get access to my online social network like Facebook, Twitter, and then I would lose connection with most of my friends and classmates. Besides, without computers, it would be inconvenient for me to finish my assignments and prepare my class presentations and do research online. Furthermore, without computers, my life would be boring and monotonous simply because I'm used to amusing myself by listening to music, watching films, and playing computer games every day. So, obviously, there is no doubt about the significance of computers to me. Is your family important to you? Definitely yes, my family means everything to me simply because they gave me the life, raised me up, and have supported almost every decision I've made. For example, I'm going to study overseas and my family gave me financial support so I don't have to worry so much about a living expense and tuition. Without my family, I don't believe that I could survive more than a week. So without doubt, my family is the most important thing to me. Do you live with your family? How are you getting on with your parents, family members? Yes, I live in a nuclear family with my grandparents, parents, and my 2 siblings. I have grown up in an environment close to the family and have shared my sorrows and happiness with them. Speaking of my parents, I have to say that I am the apple of their eyes. They always take care of me and give me helpful advice whenever I get into trouble. As to my siblings, even though my sister and brother can be annoying sometimes, I always stand up for them when they are in trouble because they are my own flesh and blood. Do you prefer to spend time with your family or with your friends? Well, to be honest, it's a little bit hard for me to answer this question because both of them are so important to me. On the one hand, I always try to keep in touch and work at a relationship with my friends who I really care for by using social network or hanging out sometimes. On the other hand, especially on the weekends, I spend as much quality family time as I can to maintain our closest family tradition. Do you have a best friend? Absolutely yes, I have a few best friends. I and Birdies go back years when we were young, and until now we have been getting on like a house on fire. Although they are by no means my flesh and blood, they are like sisters to me who always help me out in every matter. Generally speaking, we all get on really well and have a lot in common, so we are always happy doing the same things and going to the same places. Coincidentally, we are extroverts, fun-loving and easygoing. We see eye to eye on most things, so we rarely fall out with each other. I really love spending time with my soulmates after hard working hours, so I usually hang out with them at least twice a week. Who are favorite celebrity in your country? Well, I have to say that it really depends because different ages will probably have different tastes in music. From my own perspective, the young generation nowadays are usually huge fans of pop and rock singers like Sơn MTP, Nu Phước Thinh, or Sobin Hoàng Sơn. Yet, for the elderly people, I guess they may enjoy relaxing music such as country music or classical music. Therefore, they may love Phi Nhung, Khánh Ly, or Lệ Quyền. Do you think we should protect famous people's privacy? Definitely yes. It's a human right to have your private information kept confidential and have freedom in whatever you want to do without being followed all the time. As you probably can tell, these days fans, anti-fans, and even non-fans are so curious about what their idols are doing. Some are aggressive that they mentally attack their celeb they don't like by leaving unfavorable comment online. Some even approach them in person on the street, especially the so-called paparazzi. Just because celebrities are public figures doesn't mean their private life has to be exposed to everyone for worship. Thus, I strongly agree that there should be more regulations to protect the celebrities' privacy.
Would you like to change your name? Well, honestly, I have never thought about that, but I guess if I had a chance, I would have a moniker like Song Joong Ki. This might be because that is the name of my favorite actor in Descendants of the Sun, a Korean television series. However, I adore my name tremendously because it has quite a deep and significant meaning, and as well as that, my mother chose it for me, so she doesn't want me to change it. Would you like to change about your school? Honestly, I have never thought about that, but I guess if I had a chance, I would have a severe timetable of my school altered. I say I'm sick and tired of it. There's no escaping the fact that Vietnamese students have to get up early, about 5 or 6 in the morning. It would be better if school started at 9 a.m. This could be because we all work more effectively with enough sleep. What kind of holiday do you like? To be honest, I try to avoid tourist trap or all-in package. I like to travel light and get away from it all, especially somewhere off the beaten path. On public holidays, I and my buddies often take a motorbike trip to picturesque villages in my hometown, Da Nang, to escape from the hustle and bustle life in city center, as well as to plunge myself into stunning landscapes and enjoy tranquil life. Who do you usually spend holiday with? It depends on what kind of holiday it is. If it's Christmas vacation, I prefer hanging out with my friends here and there and have a chit chat. If it's New Year holiday, I just want to celebrate the holiday with my family and relatives in a cozy ambience. Why are holidays important to you? Well, I think it's mainly because holiday is a perfect time for recharging my batteries and facing. No need to study or work hard after a year full of challenges and obstacles. In addition to this, holidays give me a great opportunity to meet friends and other family members. It can also help me make new friends and enhance mutual understanding about each other. Without holidays, I would be stuck in the career treadmill and not have a chance to enjoy my life. For the reasons above, holidays are so important to me. What did you do during the last public holiday? What do other people in your country usually do on public holidays? What would you like to do during the next public holiday? It's kind of hard to say because there are heaps of things that people can do. Some people I know around me tend to go shopping with families or friends to take advantage of the sales the shops are offering. Others probably stay at home for resting and have a little get together to celebrate the holidays. For young people, they may enjoy a short break with soulmates at a picturesque village. Would you say your country welcomes travelers or tourists? Would you say your country is a good place for travelers to visit? Definitely yes. Vietnamese people are renowned for their hospitality to visitors, and there are also numerous tourist attractions throughout the country. For instance, you can visit the natural landscape to see the picturesque views, or you can go to the historical relics to know the events through the long Vietnamese history. Or you can just stay at the metropolises to experience the local people's lifestyle.
What is the most important festival in our country? Vietnam is a very diverse country. We have got more festivals than any part of the world. So in North, there are festivals like Hung King Temple Festival, Yong Festival, and Boat Fighting Festival that are very important. And then we have Highlands, where Elephant Racing Festival is celebrated in Lunar March every year. Down the southwest, we have Ba Chúa Xứ and Cầu Ngư Festival, which are very famous. It is so amazing that going across from one part of the country to the others, we can experience all the diversity.
Do you like the transport system in your country? To be honest, I don't have a preference for transport system in Vietnam, simply because there are a lot of transport problems. To be more precise, I'm usually stuck in traffic congestion or held up by roadworks. Besides, poor condition of roads lead to many traffic accidents. However, I have to admit that it has been tremendously changed and developed compared to the last few decades. More airports, seaports, railways, and road space have been built, partly because of the growing number of international tourists. In the future, I hope that it could be more diverse and efficient. For example, more trains and underground trains should be built because at the moment, bus is the only option of public transport in many cities in Vietnam. What form of transport do you prefer to use? Why? Without any doubt, I would say motorbikes are my favorite means of transportation. You can see people driving a motorbike all over the place in my country. The reason why motorbike is so popular, I think, is due to their reasonable price and convenience. They also extremely vary in terms of size, color, and quality. Thus, a wide variety of choices is available for everyone. What measures could be taken to reduce problems of congestion in cities? There are many ways that congestion could be reduced in big cities. In my cities, for example, they have introduced a bike rental system where members can pick up a bike at one point and drop it off at another. It's proving to be very popular, and as a result, more cycle lanes are also being provided. Another effective way, which unfortunately doesn't exist in my city, is a park and ride scheme where you leave your car outside the city in a car park and then take a free bus into the center. Last but not least, I think we can charge a special fee to access the center, like they do in London, though I guess this wouldn't be quite so popular with the residents.
What measures could be taken to reduce problems of congestion in cities? Frankly speaking, all we need to do is to get rid of the factors contributing to this hardship, which are poor transport infrastructure and heavy transport system in city center. Based on that reality, I highly recommend a couple of remedies. Firstly, government had better spend more funds on enhancing and developing the infrastructure of transportation. More ring roads and flyovers should be built. Also, streets should be wider with more lanes. Secondly, to reduce the amount of private means of transportation, public transport system should be more diverse and efficient to attract more commuters. For example, more trams and underground trains should be built because at the moment, bus is the only option of public transport in many cities in Vietnam. In short, I think those are the two crucial solutions that we can try to tackle this problem.